So think about things the way they were then, the way they are now. Memories compared to the present. I'm here in New Orleans again. I thought I was here twice before, but apparently it's three times. The first time was in high school, on a class trip. I think it's my first trip, because I think the second year I went to Atlanta. It's here with Will Chan and the rest of the academic competition team doing Quiz Bowl. We went out to eat a few times, paid for by teacher. At that time in life, I never really went to eat. And we went to this fancy place the last night we were there and had some fine food. This steamed dish, like a, I thought it was called etouffee, but ever since I've had etouffee looking for this and I never been able to have it again. I don't know what it's called, but it's almost like a steamed egg dish with lots of stuff inside. And then after that, I was traveling with John. I remember sitting outside at night on a warm summer night that had cooled down for the day. Cafe Du Monde. Drinking some coffee, which I didn't like and still don't like. And having some beignets, which are way too sweet with your powdered confectionery sugar on top. Waiting in line at Central Grocer. The line was out the door, but it was delicious. And then last time I was here just for a few days, escaping the cold of the Northwest winter. Stayed at a hostel. Don't remember too much, but I remember hanging out with a Chinese guy I met there. And having him call me a few months later as paddling on a lake in Oregon. Following up, telling me how, yes, it is different in America versus Canada. Because in Canada, they just presume you're Canadian. When he went to take a standardized test, they asked him for his Canadian ID. Whereas in America, just across the border in Minnesota, the old white lady asked, "So, do you have your passport with you?" His question is, why did they just presume I can't be born here? Because I'm Chinese looking. Well, this time I'm here with another friend. Wandering around by myself because she has a conference during the day. I went to eat at a few places. I tried something different. I looked up stuff. Po' boys are classic here. I tried something called a killer po' boy. A new shop that's more fusion-y. It was okay. And I went back to Central Grocer. Now, we already went to Cafe Du Monde. I never liked it in the first place. I don't like donuts anyways. Beignets are donuts basically. I don't like coffee. I don't know how it's any different. But we went to the one in a mall, and of course it's a different experience. How could it be similar when you're in a mall? Not just in a mall, but in a lower story of a mall. In a cramped environment versus being outdoors with this crazy long line. We passed by and it was raining, but there's still people waiting outside because it's just the place to go. So going to Central Grocer by myself, would that be a good idea? The first thing I noticed is there's no line outside. You walk inside and there's a bit of a line, but not too long. Definitely not half an hour, which is probably what we waited last time. You go up and order, and she's very friendly and greets you. Which, I don't want to say they're unfriendly, but they're more like, brusque, like New Yorkers last time. And then she just hands me a sandwich, and I'm done in a few minutes. And it's all very weird, because last time I distinctly remember them making it for you there. That's probably why it took so long, because they make it to order. As in, you order and then they make it. I see them layering the meats on top, drizzling with olive oil or different oils, vinegars. But I have to say, it tastes good still. The bread may not be as juicy as I would like, but it tastes pretty good with the olives inside, the crunch of the olives, different taste that the olives bring, the layers of meats, and the olive oil bread. It is very good, but it's not the same. If I went into thinking that it's not the same, actually remember that they made it from scratch last time, would I have thought the food wasn't as good? Is it all in the mind? Or can I just revisit something and take it for what it is? Like I'm visiting a new, fresh, unknowing what it was like before. Isn't it good sometimes to go places and not remember you've been there? So you could have a new experience, and it can be just as good as the first time you had it? Or is the issue that we have these memories, oftentimes with people that we're not actually in touch with anymore? And thus we're sad, because we know it never will be the same. Because I don't keep in touch with John anymore. The Chinese guy, yeah, I haven't talked to him in years. We just met one night, 2 days at a hostel. Had a dinner together. High school friends? William's not here. I don't keep in touch with him anymore. My high school teacher, all those people, I have no idea where they are now. But I'm sitting here in Jackson Square, which I don't know how I could have missed, because it's right across from Cafe Du Monde, which has not moved in decades, I guess. And there's flowers here, and there's a church in the background. There's people on the side selling paintings. There's street performers. I must have all known this before, but I must have forgotten. And I guess that's the beauty of revisiting places you've been before. If you're able to let go of the past and just immerse yourself in the present, forget what it tasted like last time. I mean, you don't even remember it anyways. And just focus on how it tastes now. Just wander, even though there's the internet nowadays, which we didn't have before, ever present on our phones. And see what there is to explore. Duck down the narrow alley. Check out the quaint shop. And then you form, I guess, a new impression, a new world, a new life. Because we don't live in the past. At least, I don't want to live in the past. Right now, or ever. Retrospection is something. Introspection another thing. But you don't have to dwell in a past that's only existing in memories and not in real life anymore.